I came across a story 4 or 5 years ago about an event that took place in ancient Greece at one of Sophocles' symposia. The symposia were events where a group of guys with a philosophical bent got together to discuss the human condition. And I guess the fact is it was a bunch of guys sitting around drinking a lot of wine and coming up with crazy ideas. And some of them interesting and thought-provoking ideas. And Aristophanes came up with what he posited as an explanation for human angst. There is this condition that has been recognized through the ages that is referred to as angst. It's a kind of an anxiety, a human anxiety that we have, that a restlessness, a feeling of being incomplete. There are moments in my life, and I hope in yours, where I have felt that I was doing exactly what I was supposed to be doing. I was in the place where I'm exactly the place where I'm supposed to be at that moment in my life where everything comes together. I'm in the relationship that I should be in, and everything comes together beautifully. But there are a lot of times when you feel kind of, I don't know if I'm in the right place, doing the right thing, or with the right person, or who I'm supposed to be, or what I'm supposed to do with my life, you know. We have this angst condition. It's a condition that we often live with. And he posited an explanation, very fanciful explanation. He said at one time, humans were double people, attached back to back, 2 heads, 4 arms, 4 legs. All the combinations, male, 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 female, and female, female. And in that condition, Aristophanes said, they became very powerful and arrogant. I've been trying to figure out how they could be powerful stuck together like that ever since. But anyway, that's what he said. And he said the gods became angry because of their arrogance, and they were becoming dangerously powerful, and they sent Zeus to solve the problem. So Zeus took a big sword, split everybody in 2, and sent them on their separate paths. And, said Aristophanes, ever since then, humans have been searching for the other part of themselves to make themselves feel whole again, to try to reintegrate, to get integrated, to get complete, to lose that, to get rid of that sense of angst. Something's missing in my life. Well, I was intrigued with that, and I thought, I wonder if people can get in touch with that. I contacted Rich Michelson, who's here tonight, a wonderful gallerist in Northampton, Massachusetts, who shows my work, has shown my work for some time. And I told him this story that I just told you. And I said, I'd like to gather a lot of people and invite them to come to have me shoot their portrait as their secret or hidden or fantasy self. Some part of themselves that they don't get to show in public or to their partners or mates or whatever, but that they would like to show to my camera. And he rounded up close to 100 people. We went to Northampton, Massachusetts, where he has a gallery, established a studio there in the gallery, and these people came by appointment over a period of a couple of days. And I interviewed them, each of them, as they arrived, and got some sense of who they were in their daily lives and what it was that they were bringing to be photographed, this secret or fantasy self. I didn't know what to expect, and I was so thrilled by what walked in the door. These wonderful people with their great stories and their great generosity, the way they presented themselves and said, okay, I'll do this, I'm here. And maybe I've never done this before and it's kind of scary, but we'll do this. We'll come in and let you photograph us this way. And we photographed a lot of people. They came in each with a written statement so that I could quickly see who they were in their daily lives and what they were bringing to the event. That session became known as Secret Selves. It was an exhibition at MassMoCA, Massachusetts Museum of Contemporary Art, that was up for about 6 months. The prints were up there for about 6 months, and it's a catalog which is available here tonight called Secret Selves. And we videotaped my conversations with these people. So the 25 people who were in the show that was up at MassMoCA are on the video, which also is with the catalog. It's a 40-minute video of my conversations and the photography process with these people. This is an example of what we got. This young lady came and told me that she works as a bartender, and her story was that as a child, She was the daughter of an itinerant preacher. And wherever they went, she had to be on her best behavior because she was the preacher's daughter. She couldn't act out. And she felt that she had missed her childhood. And now, I think in her mid or late 20s, she wanted to try to recapture some of that childishness. So she made herself this dinosaur outfit, and that's the way she came to be photographed. This was a guy who said that this cape had been made for him by his grandmother when he was born. And he's had it ever since. And he was in the Navy for 6 years and had this cape in his locker for 6 years in the Navy. And you got to wonder what the guys thought about their shipmate who had a Superman cape in his locker, you know. But here he was, and walked in and put it on for us and told us his story. This was a lady who did dance work, and she was morphing into a creature of light, is what she said. She wanted to be a creature of light. And she made this outfit, and that's the way we photographed her. This was a guy who came in and said, I want to be tougher than I look. So he came in smoking and drinking. And he swore that he was giving up both. And I haven't been in touch with him, but I wonder if he was successful. It was wonderful. He was a very funny guy, charming. This was a lady who works at University of Massachusetts and is obviously a great reader. And she said, I am my books. I am what I read. And she brought these books. If you look at it carefully, she set them up in something of a humanoid figure and embraced them this way. That's what her persona, her personal persona is all about, is what she reads. And this became the cover of our catalog. Matthew walked in this way, covered from head to toe with mud and dirt, wearing only that flesh-colored loincloth. He even brought the leaves to drop on the ground around himself. And his story is a very touching one. He's a painter, and he paints portraits of people who have been in war and writes about them. He interviews them as he's painting them, talks to them. I wouldn't even say interviews. He carries on conversations with them, real conversations with them. And they tell him stories about their lives in war. And a lot of them have suffered terribly, physical or mental suffering of various kinds. And he's a very compassionate individual. He feels a lot about the people that he's painting. And his secret desire is to get off into the woods and live as an avatar of the earth, away from all conflict. He's now working on a project called Lives of War, or Lives in War. And he's painting the portraits of 100 people. I think he's done 50 so far. And he has devoted a lot of his time and life to this project, and a very beautiful project and a very beautiful person. And he became our cover and our poster boy, sort of, for this project, for the Secret Selves project. So that's what I have to show you in images, and that's kind of a hop, skip, and jump overview of what the work has been about for the last number of years. And I'd be happy to take some questions.